Alright. Useless agent is on your Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, or your TV. What do you call it? Yeah. Take that, Justin Hawkins rides again. I'm gonna start doing that from now on. That is now my thing. I'm gonna start doing that shit. Don't know why I'm so close. Like, I always try to figure out a way to get the camera to go further back, but it never seems to work. You know, like I don't know. There are certain like portraits that people have on their channels, and I just think they look better. I really do. I just think they just look way better. This is not Weed Chat 2-5. This is defaming the Dick-Tater. Now, I like this title because it's funny. And I knew I was forgetting something. So, okay, there it is. Now we can start our normal bullshit day, right? Thanks. So today we are talking about multiple things, of course, as usual. Shit in the news, more insanity going on. And so I wanted to take the time today to look at multiple problems. So literally just jump in and shoot shit, you know. So as we are hearing right now, the Supreme Court is deciding that they are going to go against immunity. This is from what I've heard. I have not been able to research it yet. I only bring it up because if this is true, then that's fucking awesome. But I haven't done enough reading to see it yet. And that kind of brings us on to our first actual segue. And that being the fact that, I don't know, it's like, it's a strange fucking time to be alive right now. I actually lost my train of thought. That's what happened. But, when you're talking about this whole immunity issue, it's just scary. I mean, the fact that he's asking for all this shit, that no president's ever asked for, and then trying to say that no president can do their job, like as if he's the third president to ever exist, you know? The other 46 did just fine. So, right, the segue was leading into reading, and what I mean by that is the actual bill over the border. Now, this seems to be somewhat of a controversial topic, and the only thing that makes it really controversial is the fact that these motherfuckers haven't even read it. You know, you can't bash something you have not seen. You can't criticize a movie you didn't watch. You can't report a book you did not read. And writing the back of it never works. Tried it many times. So we've been getting all sorts of different types of viewers and different in different areas, like in TikTok especially. Now, TikTok I find very interesting because there's just a hell of a lot going on with TikTok, and between it being a Chinese company, and all of these weird facial recognition things, I don't know, there's something very, very fishy about that. And so I don't know what it, I mean, do I really need a reason other than the fact that you constantly want to manipulate our faces? I mean, that's just really weird. So, yeah, I said I was going to start doing these things. So this is actually a commercial for our show. Now get on Twitch, check out Useless Agent, and let's shoot some shit together, okay? Bring it on. So, yeah, this is going to be my new way of fucking advertising the show since nobody watches it anyway. What's it called? STS has been around for so long, and we get nowhere with it. So I'm not going to ask you guys for money. I'm just going to ask for more conversation. I mean, I really, that's the whole point of this, is to find more conversation. So going back to the point of the original segue, now kill that bastard. Um, what in the fuck? So we're gonna look at a video about how these guys are treating the border crisis, which is actually an influx of it's an influx of immigrants. This is not an invasion. They just really like that fucking word. And these aren't people coming by with guns and shit like that. And then if you want to bring up that whole, oh, well, look at that cop that got jumped over there. Do you know how many times we get jumped by cops? Are you fucking retarded? Like, had they been black, he would have just opened fire on all of them. So, give me that shit. That anecdotal horse shit that only works in some weird microcosm that we don't live in. And that's the only time this applies. And so I think as early as 2019, the RNC with Ronald McDonald, McDaniel, whatever the fuck her name is, this fucking dumbass had basically put in the idea that the RNC will now no longer have any specific platforms, meaning you stand for absolutely nothing. So what used to be, smaller government, bigger military, lower taxes, that was the average Republican. Now you ask them what do they want, they gotta go ask Trump first. Hey, what do we want? Nothing. Okay, we don't want nothing. And then you have Mike Johnson on television getting beaten the shit out of by the new girl. And honestly, I really wish they brought back Mehdi Hassan. Get Mehdi out there and let him do his fucking job. That man was a fucking beast. And so she does a decent job at correcting him, but the very fact that he's not in office means you don't get a say. But when we hear people that are in office, like MAGA Mike Johnson, and he's actually, bragging about how soon he gets calls from him, that's not something you want to tell us out loud. And the very fact that you're saying, oh, well, I just spoke with him day before last. Oh, I'm sorry. Is he still your president? Well, he's my president. Yeah, sure. But what country you live in? America? Who's the president? Oh, man. Yeah, exactly. You're taking orders from a civilian. You're a bitch. All right? The only person you're supposed to be taking fucking direct orders from is us. The president that we have now, I don't give a fuck how you feel about him. He is doing better. And so let's watch the video on how the fact that they have basically agreed not to believe in anything, but also don't even read the very bill, this $14 billion bill that is the most right-wing accommodating bill they've ever seen. And it shows you that we have a president that is willing to go to far lengths to make some sort of compromise. Going, here, you fucking rednecks, just take it. And when MAGA Mike Johnson said that wouldn't make a damn difference, it wouldn't make a lick of difference, I would have said, hey, say that really loud to the people behind you that we don't want your $14 billion. Who could use that money? The people that you're claiming to represent, those people behind you are fucking broke. and you are trying to cost them even more. And that is the grift. Let's get these rubes to not only pay us, but pay us with a smile on their face, pay us, but be happy and proud to pay us. That's like someone proud to go pay their taxes, knowing that this country was built on the anger of taxation without representation. So, yeah, let's go ahead and start off that video. And just notice the embarrassing amount of just how out of touch and how irrelevant these people really, really are. Now, this is Luke Beasley. I think he does a decent job. But we're not trying to talk to him right now. We are trying to find out the news. So here's August 17th. I can't stomach Trump. I think he's noxious and is leading the white working class into a very dark place. And look at that. That looks like a straight up baby wearing a suit. He seriously looks like somehow if Lindsey Graham could be a bigger pussy.
He's noxious and is leading the white working class to a very dark place. He's leading our political discourse to a very negative place. If Trump is elected president, he has to be a much different president than he was a candidate.
Now, have you noticed they keep saying that they're leading white Americans into a very dark place? Not saying that they're leading America into a dark place. That I would like to hear, dark people go into a whiter place. That would be somewhat positive, I guess, because white represents all colors, right? And black is the lack of color, so it would just make sense. Now, this is the same guy that has he's a necklace, chinless little turd, but at least he was kind of making sense, in 2016. But, that was 8 years ago. In politics, nobody can have the same opinion for longer than 2 years.
It's a candidate who was fundamentally divisive, arrogant. I'm a never Trump guy. I never liked him.
That was J.D. Vance back in 2016. Now he's a Republican senator from Ohio supporting Donald Trump, and he joins us this morning. Senator, thank you for joining us this morning. Back in 2016, you also wrote that Trump is unfit for office. Why have you...
Okay, now let me just kind of put out some context in this. Now, we're obviously aware of what's going on. This is George Stephanopoulos. Now, what he's basically just trying to do is get some honesty out of this question on what made you change your mind? What made you go from a never Trump guy to only Trump guy? And, the furthest thing from an actual answer is always what we're going to get. That's just how it is. That's how it works, how it's always been, and how it continues. So let's go ahead and finish this, and just notice that he's trying to just get some sort of semblance of personality out of the guy. And he goes on diatribe after diatribe, not answering the question. Now, for me personally, if you do not answer the question, if you're not answering a direct question, especially when it's like a yes or no question, that's pretty bad, pretty goddamn bad. Seriously. Oops. I forgot how to play it. I don't even remember how to play that fucking shit. I used to know how to play it. I can still play Tales from the Crypt. But all right, sorry about that. Screwed that up. Let's continue the interview.
First yourself?
Well, I think in office, actually, George, he did a great job, and he proved me wrong. He also proved a lot of other people wrong, which is why I think he's doing so well in the polls these days. We have to remember, George, that Joe Biden...
right away you notice that he's like diving into the answer that he doesn't want to give. He doesn't want to give a real answer. So what they always do is going to beat around the bush, talk about anything else. And so George is smart. He knows how to handle this. And Vance thinks that he's got Dunning-Kruger effect written all over his face. So he has these delusions of grandeur, and he's going to think that he's getting over on George. But
Senator from Ohio supporting Donald Trump, and he joins us this morning. Senator, thank you for joining us this morning. Back in 2016, you also wrote that Trump is unfit
for
office. Why have you reversed yourself?
Well, I think in office, actually, George, he did a great job, and he proved me wrong. He also proved a lot of other people wrong, which is why I think he's doing so well in the polls these days. We have to remember, George, that Joe Biden promised to return to normalcy.
And then he goes on to say all of the normal Republican takes on Biden's presidency.
They love using the word normalcy as if, you know, because to them, normalcy is being able to be a racist, you know. They always want to rewind the clock so that way they can go back to being just obnoxious racists. And you didn't have a leg to stand on. You couldn't fight back then.
Biden's win.
So you're not troubled by the sexual assault and defamation. Let me ask you about January 6th. You've been mentioned as a possible vice president for Donald Trump. Had you been vice president on January 6th, would you have certified the election results?
Now, this is a simple yes or no question. But in his brain,
oh, George, this is such a ridiculous question, in part because the law has changed here. We, of course, had
I didn't ask you about going forward. I asked you what you would have done.
Yeah.
I asked you what you would have done.
George, here's what I think. Here's what I think happened in 2020, and I know you guys are obsessed with.
That's not what he asked. See, again, they preface their own answers based off questions that nobody asked. You know, that's like saying someone asking, you know, how do you feel about Israel and Palestine? And you just said, yeah, I like to keep it short in the summer. I let it grow out in the winter. It keeps me warm. You know, somebody would right away go, what the fuck are you talking about? Shut the fuck up and answer my question.
Talking about this, I have to make a point here. You constantly say to people like me, why do you talk about January the 6th? Why do you talk about the election of 2020? And then you ask about us multiple times during a 6-minute interview. But look, you asked the question and I'll answer it. Do I think there were problems in 2020? Yes, I do. The political solution to the problems that existed in 2020, it's a reasonable debate to have. And I find it weird, George, that people like you obsess with what I call what happened in 2020. You're so incurious about what actually happened in 2020, which is why so many people mistrust our elections in this country. We've got to do better.
No. Before he jumps in, the reason why we don't supposedly the reason why we're so ignorant to this and incurious, as you say, is because we fucking saw it. Okay, we saw it. It was on national TV. Now, when you guys keep bitching about every day is January 6th, it's kind of hard to get past that, because this is shit that we are going to read about, you know, if we still exist hundreds of years from now, and they're going to look at this and go, what in the fuck happened? And God forbid they say something stupid like, was this because weed got legalized? Hell no. Don't blame the weed. Do not blame my fucking butt on this shit. People like this would never be offered any bud to smoke. You know, like people like this, bud should be like mandatory, but you know, they're fucking douchebags. And if it doesn't come in pill form, they don't want to take it. So get some snortable fucking weed. I don't care. Lace some THC with some fucking baby powder and snort that shit. I don't give a fuck, really. Or maybe switch to heroin, you know, that'll make you really calm, chills you out, you know. You'll get really into jazz music. Shut up. Anyway, let's go on and let him continue his word salad, since it's the only salad he seems to really enjoy.
I'm not the least bit incurious. In fact, you laid out a litany there, but you didn't answer the question I asked. Would you have certified the election results had you been vice president?
If I had been vice president, I would have told the states like Pennsylvania,
it's a yes or no question. Why can't people just give a yes or no answer?
Georgia and so many others that we needed to have multiple slates of electors, and I think the U.S. Congress should have fought over from there. That is the legitimate way to deal with an election that a lot of...
let him say his diatribe and then stop him and say, all right, now where in there did you answer my question? Let's say I'm giving you the benefit of the doubt. Where is your answer to my question? I asked you, if you were in Mike Pence's shoes, would you have certified that as a fair election, or would you have done the most anti-democratic thing you could do? And he finally nails it down to, of course I would give in to the fucking, lunatic. Because these are the same people that believe that Joe Biden can't tie his shoes, but at the same time can orchestrate one of the biggest, largest, the greatest schemes in American history and world history. And he doesn't want to be Herbert Hoover. And dude, you already are a Hoover, dude, because you suck. Badum tisk. I can't believe that all this fucking shit, they don't have a badum tisk. That is some dumbass shit. That's some dumbass shit. I'm just saying that's some dumbass shit. So all right, let's let I don't know. Let's let Beardface go ahead and finish.
Folks, including me, think had a lot of problems in 2020. I think that's what we should have done.
So it's very clear. You would have done what Donald Trump asked you to do there, not what President Mike Pence did.
I covered this story on my show. You can find that at Luke Beasley on YouTube and every podcast platform.
I love when he says that because I tried to do the same thing. You don't want to be that guy going around throwing out your own show on other people's show. Sorry, Luke, but I'm kind of doing that to you right now.
And defy Supreme Court rulings.
Because you will get taken to court, and then when the courts stop you, stand before the country like Andrew Jackson did and say the Chief Justice has made his ruling, now let him enforce it.
Fire everyone in the government and defy the Supreme Court? You think it's okay for the president to defy the Supreme Court?
No, George, I did not say fire everyone in the government. I said replace the mid-level bureaucrats with people who are responsive to the administration.
Every civil servant in the administrative state.
One of the problems, no, George, I said the mid-level bureaucrats, and one of the problems that we have in this government.
You said every civil servant in the administrative state.
Yeah, exactly. You just said it.
Let me finish the answer, George. You asked the question. We have a major problem here with administrators and bureaucrats in the government who don't respond to the elected branches, that whoever is in charge, agree or disagree with them, you have to follow the rules. If those people aren't following the rules, then of course you've got to fire them. And of course the president has to be able to run the government as he thinks he should. That's the way the Constitution works. It has been thwarted too much by the way our bureaucracy has worked over the past 15 years.
The Constitution also says the president must abide by legitimate Supreme Court rulings, doesn't it?
The Constitution says that the Supreme Court can make rulings, but if the
you see what he's doing there? Like, he doesn't have the balls nor the intelligence to manipulate George. Now, there are ways that you could have manipulated that answer. I had about 3 different ways. Again, the point of life itself is to always be playing devil's advocate. And yeah, I definitely saw a way that I could have reworded that. These people are not articulate. They are not eloquent. Literally, their cult leader doesn't know the difference between elegant and eloquent. And the way that they can go on and say we're starting and raging an all-out war on democracy, and then go on to say that they are the true patriots of democracy, and yet they want everything both ways. Now, again, I talked about this yesterday, but it bears repeating that they want everything both ways. They want to eat their cake and have it too. And once you've eaten it, it's gone, dude. You can't eat it and have it. I hate when people say it the other way around. It's fucking annoying. You can have your cake and eat it too. You just can't eat your cake and have it too. So I actually think that the original phrase was fucked up. I think my math teacher taught us that the original phrase had gotten, just like a game of telephone, just got fucked up, and then that's what it is. Like when people say I could care less, it's I couldn't care less. If you're saying I could care less, means you kind of care. Like, people do not realize how stupid they fucking sound. To the point where they're trying to make conversate a word. That's no. I'm so sick of bending the knee to the bonehead mass audiences out there. If you know what I'm talking about, please throw out some examples. But cell phones, newspapers, media, television, movies, everything that comes across your eyes and goes through that brain is literally developed for an 8th grade reading level. That's a fact. That the average American technology only goes up to 8th grade level because they don't expect you to know words. I tried to use the word double entendre 4 different times. It misspelled it or had no clue what I was saying, and I just couldn't. I was baffled. I was just fucking. It was mind boggling. You're a computer, and you can't spell a word. And so it asked me to use instead of entendre, it spelled out entender. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene recently read out. She is not a good reader. We've seen her read numbers and fumble over that, but this was even more embarrassing because she actually managed to fuck up a number. She couldn't even name a number. Like she said something. It was like 20,500,450, but she's like 200,000. A lot of money was used, and like, oh my God, bitch, do you not know how decimal points or commas work in numbers? For every 3, there's a new name. You never learn this shit? I think I got it in like 1st grade. I'm pretty sure. We learned it right after sharing. You stupid bitch. And this is a person that went to a fucking real college. College professor. I'm not Professor Dave. But my college experience was all about learning. I didn't have fun in college, and that's because I'm a high school dropout. All right. I got kicked out of high school at 16. I spent the rest of my life working like a fucking dog to support my wife and our house. I got married at 19. Around 17, 18 years old, some of my friends were off to college. My friend got into a good school. He brought me along saying that, they don't take attendance. They don't fucking ask you shit. It's not like the old days where, you wait for a name, and if somebody doesn't raise their hand, just raise yours. Like if a substitute was working in high school. So I got a free fucking education, and I benefited from that because not only did I receive the education, but I actually kept it. I did the work. I turned in the work. I have some of them in a notebook that are in plastic because I'm so proud of them. I got an A on a fucking essay. It was a college essay, and I used to sell essays and shit like that to college students. They were going to a high school dropout, a kid that was told he was worthless and a useless child, and used me to pass their classes. This is what made me start my path on where I am now. I knew damn well my father was a fucking brilliant man, and he was a vice president at Michael Madoff in New York City at the World Trade Center. And he got that position from being a mail person. He was in the mail room. That's where he started. That typical story that you've heard your whole life, that was my dad. I didn't think that story was ever real, but I knew it was simply because my dad did it. His whole life, he worked with college grads, and yet they'd ask him for advice. They'd ask him for answers. If it came down to math, sciences, you asked him. So when he got a job working at Sprint, I laughed because I'm like, Dad, you've never held a cell phone in your life, man. Those big ass ones at the time. And I was like, he said, I'll figure it out. If it's numbers, I'll figure it out. Turns out it really was all about numbers, degrees. And so he can look at, an antenna and tell you the exact angling of it. And so it was because of that that made me realize that you don't need money to get an education. Now you have a phone that can give you a free education. But what I did was I did the work. I went to school and I went to college for all that shit. So this is why I get really frustrated because of the whole 8th grade, the reading level horse shit, not understanding more complex words, and to insult my intelligence by telling me that I am missing out on all these brilliant complexities that are coming from a bloated orange rapist. I'm supposed to take his word? You're trying to tell me that he's smarter than me. Are you fucking kidding me? And you guys just take it. You just fucking sit there and fucking take it. Of course, not you watching, but they just sit there and fucking take it. The man literally tells his whole crowd that only 2% of this room could pass a fucking competency test. This is a test they give to you after a concussion. This is not fucking. This is not a Mensa application. So then on Twitter, I get a moron trying to yell at me because I brought out a video showing that he raised the goddamn taxes on purpose and raised gas prices. And after that, someone tried to tell me that, oh yeah, if that's so true, then why was gas so cheap back then? I'm like, did you ever heard of COVID? We couldn't work. We couldn't leave our house. We couldn't go out. There were no cars on the street. Hence, gas was no longer in demand. You stupid little person. But no, of course not. That's just too much for them, and that's far too much nuance to even bother with. And that's the sad realities. So now, after I show you one that fails to try to speak for Trump, they literally cut his mic off. As Vance kept talking, I didn't even make you suffer through that. He kept talking. They cut his mic off, saying, look, man, if you're not going to answer the question, but of course they did it in their phony ass way. I would have shut him off and said, okay, you're not here to answer my question, so go ahead and just get rid of him. Be like Roland Martin. Show some fucking nuts, man. Don't be like, you don't have to go full on Joe Rogan, but I mean, at least be like a Roland Martin. Now, you got Alina Habba fucked up. You got Alina Habba thrown under the bus. But I mean, come on, she's guilty of everything that she got. She was a fucking moron. So remember, I told you she wasn't reaching for that law degree. She wanted to get in those pants. And she didn't realize that he didn't have that kind of thing. Of course, he probably banged her a few times, and she probably pretended to like it. And now she's fucking pissed. And it wouldn't surprise me when she gets thrown, if she were thrown under the bus, Trump style, to go on her own lawsuit against them. And then we get another shitty fucking book out of it that nobody's going to fucking read. And they're going to claim is on the top of the bestseller list. Let's remember, people, when it comes to the New York Times and the bestseller list for books, if you see an asterisk, look up what that asterisk is, because it often is telling you that no people are buying the books. Companies are buying the books, or they're buying in bulk. So when you have what's called bulk purchases, this could be for a bookstore. This could be just because. For politicians, it's often just because. And they are now having the nerve to complain that there's not enough Republican books in libraries. Maybe it's because you're not allowed to print fake history. Maybe it's because there is no revisionist history section and all you do is lie. So why would anyone want to read something that's telling me that the earth is flat, that everything's rigged, and fucking Taylor Swift is the actual reason anyone likes football? Are you fucking crazy? The Taylor Swift issue, I could not believe that I'm even on that side. I never thought I would ever even get involved in that side. But, my daughter loved her music, so, I listen to Shake It Off. I mean, come on, man. You got to be a good parent. So now let's see. The next person that's meant to be up Trump's ass and try to fight for him, they can't do it. So we just saw J.D. Vance get his ass whooped. We've seen Alina Habba get thrown out. Now, Ronald McDaniel is being thrown under the bus for her bad achievements in the RNC, which started the idea of no longer will the Republican Party have a specific platform. That's why they run on nothing. So to try to have a civilized conversation, Eric, I mean, if you have your bong out, let's fucking play a game. All right. I got about half a bong right now. I'll fill it up a little bit more. And let's try to see how many hits we can take for every fucking time that these douchebags, that Erick Trump over here says the words, "my father." All right? I have not seen the full thing. I've only seen like little bits and pieces, but let's play a game together, guys. If you are a smoker, let's do this. If you're a drinker, hey man, it's noon somewhere. So let's fucking do this shit. All right, you guys game for this shit? All right, let's do it then. Shut up. All right, here we go. Pax Ball. Let's begin this weird ass little game here. All right, here we go. For every time Erick Trump says "my father," we have to take a hit. All right, ready, set, and go.
One fella and one lady, and that two 80-year-olds should not be running for office. On the trail this weekend, your dad appeared to confuse Haley for Nancy Pelosi. How do you explain this confusion when he said Haley was in charge of security at the Capitol on January 6th?
My father's an incredible man. He's
incredible. Oh, word one, people. Word one. All right, here we go. All right, there's one. Now, let's get back on there. Allow him to fucking rewind his stupid little face. There we go. Go again.
He's incredible. He's bright. He's got more energy than any person I know.
Okay, I have to stop it here. I'm going to play the whole word salad, but I must call your attention to the
Shut up.
And he spits out a word salad that has nothing to do with
the
question.
We're playing
he
a
runs
game.
circles, and I think you know this too because you have teams of people around him every single day. He runs circles around the media. He runs circles around people that are a third his age. He's a remarkable human being. He's got the brains. He's got the toughness to do the job. He'll do the job better than any human being, and we need somebody to do that job. We need toughness right now. We need a fighter in the Oval Office. He's a remarkable man. He's at the top of his game, and
it might sound like
shut up, David. We don't want to hear you right now. Sorry, brother. You're ruining my game. All right, let's go.
To the question that was asked, and she'll try again.
Shut up.
And again, as a son, I'm incredible.
Understood, but I do want to go back to that moment because, as you know, Haley is really saying that this is an issue of his mental fitness.
Right.
You know, I have parents who are now 78, and they do have some questions sometimes or confusion sometimes, and I do think that it is a legitimate point of hers to say this is a really big issue if you're confusing me with Nancy Pelosi.
Lindsay, in all fairness, I mean, my father just beat her by 30.
Oh, we got another one. I knew it. We get another one. All right, that's 2. All right, that's 2. Jesus Christ, I wonder how high I'm going to get before the fucking end of this fucking speech. All right. You better have taken a hit, man. No cheating. All right, no fucking cheating. No bitch hits either. All right, next. Oh, let's go ahead and let's briefly rewind. All right.
Lindsay, in all fairness, I mean, my father just beat her by 31 points in Iowa.
And of course, the results of Iowa don't have anything to do with Trump's cognitive
David.
He's going to beat her again tonight. She forgot to put her name on a ballot on a caucus in Nevada. I wouldn't exactly say that was using the breast of her.
The breast.
Brain power, to say the least. But, we can stop with those games. I think this race is going to be over tonight. My father's...
we got another one! Oh, my God. We got 3 in the matter of what? It hasn't even been like a full-ass minute yet. All right, that's 3. Wow, we got to play this game more often. All right. God, I hope whoever's watching, I hope you're playing along, man. Throw it in the fucking chat box, man. Let me know if you're fucking playing along. Please, somebody, throw it out there. All right, where the fuck watches this? Come on, man, jump in. All right, so let's rewind that again. Let's go.
Over tonight. My father's a remarkable person. He's done great things for this country. He's the last person that needs to be doing this job. He does it because he cares about red, white, and blue. His life would be exponentially better if he was sitting at Mar-a-Lago with his grandkids, having a great time. He wants to save our nation. Our nation is a nation in decline. Everybody sees it.
Trump has spread discredited questions about Nikki Haley's eligibility to be president.
All right, now they move on to something else. This doesn't...
No, don't tell me that's it. Oh, son of a bitch. That's it. All right, next time we got to do the whole fucking interview. But that wasn't bad, guys. That wasn't bad. What was that? 3 fucking hits? Look at that. I'm back down to half a bowl again. Oh, man. We're going to have smoke games from now on. We're going to start calling this smoke games, all right? We're going to do this again. I want to say around 3 o'clock, we'll have a whole nother round of, I don't know, try to think of a clever title. Whoever's watching me, try to think of a clever title, throw it in, let me know what it is, message me wherever, and let's try to get in a cool title for this. So the whole point is that we're trying to invent a smoking game. All right. Anyone have any ideas for a name? All right. So, all right, what's next? All right, let's move on to the next video. Going to be looking into here we go. Now we're going to be doing the Maria Bartiromo topic, so let's try to see what's going to happen with that. Oh, what the fuck? Why is that popping up on my shit? All right, so the next one will be the Maria Bartiromo interview. So if we can turn this into another weed game, let's make it into another weed game. Where is it? Okay, so now if you have not seen this one, I think we have a full we got a full 3 minutes, I think. All right, we got about a full 3-minute video here. So they're obviously going to be talking about bullshit and bullshit and bullshit. Let's try to think of a word. Try to think of a word that we know one of them is going to say something. Let's try. How about the word? If you're watching the show, we're playing a weed game. We're taking a hit for every time Trump says certain things. Now, we just did Erick Trump, and we smoked on my father. So we got 3 hits in 1 minute. That was amazing. So the next trick is we're watching the Bartiromo interview. We have 3 minutes. So what word should we use to be our signal to take another toke? Man, I want to kind of cheapen out and say me. Damn, should we do me or Trump? All right, fuck it. I guess we'll go with let's go with the word Trump. Every time someone says Trump, now no one's going to say you or me. He usually uses himself in the third person. All right, so fill that bowl up. Let's do this shit. All right, you ready? Okay, on your marks. Get set. And go.
May they rest in peace. In Jordan, an enemy drone from Iranian-backed proxies launched that deadly drone strike, killed our heroes. What should be the proper response?
Before you go too far, would have never happened with me. I had Iran in check. Do you know, we hit them very hard.
Wait, I'm sorry. You said me. Remember, we said me's and Trump's. Me. That's one. I know I kind of cheated there.
Something that they did, and they had to hit back. They feel they have to do that, and I understand that. Do you know they called me to tell me we're going to hit a certain location, but we're not going to hit it. It's going to be outside of the perimeters.
Who called you?
Iran called.
That's 2. He said me again, so that's 2. That's 2. Oh my God, I'm still coughing from the last one. All right, let's go. That's 2. No bitch hits. No bitch hits. No cheating.
Iran called for me, and they let us know.
God damn it! That's another one. Fuck.
We had 16 missiles went off. I believe it was 16. 6 or 7 failed in the air.
When was this?
This was prior to the attack on a fort that we had where they hit back. Do you remember when they sent 18 missiles or 16 missiles? 5 failed. They let us know.
Now remember, while we watch this interview, he should be using terms like we, not me or I. But he's so self-obsessed, he thinks that he is a one-man country. So that's why I said, let's do me or Trump. And lately he has been using himself in the third person. It's only when he's online that he uses himself in the third person. So, all right. I don't know. What was that, 4?
No, don't move. We're going to have to hit you back. Psychologically, we have to do that because we hit them on something. You remember, they sent 16 or 18 missiles, and we knew they weren't going to hit inside the fort. And the media was going, and now I reveal it, the media was going wild because they say it's strange. They're very accurate missiles. How come they all missed? Nobody was killed, if you remember.
Yes,
with all
I
of those
do.
missiles, nobody was killed. Now, they had to do it because they have people and they have to show strength. So they aimed the missiles, but they said, please don't attack us. We're not going to hit you. That was respect. We had respect.
Is he trying to talk about himself like he's in Goodfellas? You know, the next day, somebody, the kids around the block carried my mother's groceries. You know why? It was out of respect.
We took out Soleimani. You know, Israel was supposed to do it with us. 2 days before the takeout, they said, we can't do it. We can't do it. I said, what? We can't do it. Then I had a certain general who's great. I said, so, General, do we do it ourselves? He said, we can, sir. It's up to you. I said, we'll do it. But Israel was a part of it. You know, Bibi was a big part of it. And we had everything planned, everything, because what he has done is terrible. What he did to us was terrible. Killed so many of our soldiers. Killed so many people.
And yet you still call him Bibi rather than, you know, his actual name.
He's the father of the roadside bomb. You know that, right? And Soleimani, we can't, it was just incredible.
Wow.
And al-Baghdadi, I wiped him out too. Yeah. We took out al-Baghdadi, the founder
of
the
ISIS. Can we count that one? I mean, he said I to say that we took, he didn't say we took out al-Baghdadi. He said I did. I think that should count. I'm going to count that one because I haven't spoken in a minute. But so far we're at 4. I'll give this one an asterisk. 4 under 1 fucking minute, by the way. We just got to the 2nd minute, and that's so far 1 on the 2nd minute.
Nobody could find except me.
Oh, there he goes! All right, there's the 5th one.
Father of the roadside bomb. Now, and beyond that, killed many people. He was going to attack 5 of our military bases, and we took him out. And we took him out without Israel, because Israel, 2 days before the attack, they said, we cannot participate.
And it's time for the hot topic.
Damn. All right, so we got what? We got 5. My bowl's pretty much cashed now. Damn. Yeah, that's all she wrote there. It's just like a little fucking nothing. See? Look at that. It's like nothing. Oh, man, that's fucking hilarious. So, we didn't even get 3 minutes out of that. It turned out it was only 2:41. So, we're definitely going to be playing this game a lot more. It's, yeah, you know, there's like the Hunger Games. Maybe we should just call it the Stoner Games. And, you know, we can have like full on. What do you guys think? Is that a good idea? If we like just do like a full-on fucking stoner Olympics, but we add some shit to it. Come on, guys, throw some shit in, like some good ideas. Like we could do, you know, I don't know, man. That's the whole point of fucking teamwork here. We gotta think of a cool fucking name, man. But I like the Stoner Games. I'm pretty cool with that. If it was like a blowjob contest, then we'd be able to call it the Hummer Games. But what I found really funny about this interview was this is not the one that I saw. This was a totally different interview because the one that I was expecting to see was where they were talking about something. She says, you know, oh, and then I beat DeSantis. I call him DeSantis now because I took away the other names. And she just literally cuts him off mid-conversation, just like, yeah, shut the fuck up. You know, people should do that because when they do, he looks so lost every time they kind of one-up on him. If you ever look at him, he's always like a deer in the headlights. Like he sits there. Yeah, I'll go for it. He's kind of like, you know, like he sits there, but then when he gets insulted, he makes this like, you know, like face. Like he doesn't know how to take insults. Like they just don't really. They go over his head, and then he has to wonder. Wait a minute, was that an insult? Wait a minute. Oh, son of a bitch. Now you're all going to die. And then he starts, you know, talking about your dad killing Kennedy. He literally did that shit. I mean, this is funny. Come on. It gets to the point where we're all fucking, running around fucking like chickens with their head cut off, fucking terrified of what? A fucking, a fat guy with dementia who thinks he's king of the world. Because he saw Titanic like 4 times, I mean, and then, like I said, he wants everything both ways. So he wants to be the greatest champion, but also the poorest victim at the same fucking time. Like if he was Batman, every person that he saves, he would tell the story of his childhood. I turned into a bat, by the way. If he was Joker, he'd definitely be as in, you want to know how I got these scars? It would make the worst fucking superhero and villain because we would know instantly who the fuck it is. And knowing him, he'd have some stupid trademark that's like so fucking obvious, not even funny. Oh, god damn it. So, what else were we going to cover? I think that's about it. Speaking of the Joker, you know what? Yeah, speaking of the Joker, this is going to be our final segue. All right, shut up. That's the segue song. So this is going to be our final segue. And it is funny that I mentioned Batman because we're actually going to bitch about the Joker. Not the Joker, but the bullshit that they're passing off as Joker today in the new Suicide Squad game. Now, you guys should probably know, if you're a fan of the show, I'm not a gamer. Could give a fuck less about video games. I still have a PS3 and I play Sega games on it, and I got a Wii because it has Mario. That's who I am. But I just want you guys to see this because even if you're not a video game fan and you're just a fan of Batman, this is going to really piss you off. And it definitely pissed me off because, we all have seen the bad Joker, and we all know there's only one bad Joker. And I mean, even past Mark Hamill, there have been other people that have played the Joker, and I've never heard someone this bad. And so, yeah, let's play it.
This March, you'll be able to unlock a new playable character for your squad, the Joker.
I'm the Joker, baby!
The original Arkhamverse Joker has been dead for 5 years, but this is a new Elseworlds twist on the villain. He was part of the Suicide Squad in the Elseworld that he's from, which already...
That's right. That is him. That is the next Joker. Probably the ugliest damn thing I've ever seen. It looks like Alan Cummings in a Joker outfit, and if you don't know who Alan Cummings is, he's a bit part actor that's been in plenty of different things. Most notably, he was Loki in Son of the Mask, and there he is right there. So go ahead, blow it up however you want to do it. That is who they based the Joker off of. And it is not only sad, but I mean sad enough to make someone want to cry. Because, I mean, not only did we hate that Joker so much that in the Snyder Cut, they had to change that Joker and give him longer hair and give him more messy makeup. And I didn't see that ugly ass tattoo on his head either. If you've seen the Snyder Cut, and don't see the Justice is Gray Snyder Cut, see the regular one, just the Snyder Cut. Who the fuck thought it was a good idea to strip out and desaturate all the fucking color out of a comic book movie? You know how stupid that fucking is? That is seriously like that is seriously choosing to draw a picture of a rainbow rather than just fucking filming it. That is like trying to draw a rainbow with nothing but fucking tar. I mean, it is so fucking stupid that it could only lead to this fucking ugly, disgusting, hard piece of shit. I mean, that has to be the most god awful, ugliest thing of all goddamn time. Wow. Even the flower looks gay. How can you make a flower look gay? And I don't mean like the cool ones that, like, you know, get laid and teach you like really weird, or like give you condoms when you're like 10 years old. Not that kind of gay. The kind that say people from Phoenix are Phoenician. Shut the fuck up. And so, yeah, that's what we see here. This fucking, what is it? I mean, god damn it. Oh my god. Is it a marching band suit? And so the entire gameplay is going to be based off of paying for special little cute outfits for all the characters. And get this ugly piece of shit out of my face. Just get him out of here, please. Thank you. Not only that, but the game itself, they kill Batman. You don't kill Batman. You just don't kill Batman. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off the Lone Ranger. And you don't shoot Batman. You don't kill Batman. You just don't do it. That's fucking dumb as shit. All right, sorry. Terrible idea, terrible video game, and it is not off to a good start at all. And I highly doubt it's going to get any real play. But that is neither here nor there, and not my problem. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to be on my way now. So before I go, I will leave you with this. Useless agent is on your Facebook, laptop, or your PC, whatever you call it. Useless agent is on your Facebook, Twitter, or your TV, wherever you want it. Stay cheesy, my friends. Always stay cheesy.